Hey Facebook, Tony Keith here, the digital content manager at KKTV 11 News, and we're talking Broncos because we're coming off of a win, which is kind of a weird feeling this season, but I'm asking you guys a simple question as we bring in our super producer Caleb, who is also a big-time Broncos fan. So full disclosure, we are biased, guys. We are biased, but he also is real with the facts. And I'm asking you guys on Facebook right now, if you're watching, simply grade the offense, A through F, grade the defense, and grade Russell Wilson. So, Caleb, I'm going to start with you on Broncos versus Bears. We came away with a 31-28 win. Grade that offense for us.
Let's ride. This is a B+ performance from the offense. Would give them the A if the offensive line would stop having false start penalties, but other than that, Russell Wilson was running, he was passing, he was throwing dimes. This offense looks totally different than it did last year, and I can't wait to see how much more they can grow in the coming weeks.
Talking about that O-line, I'm pretty sure 4 of the 5 guys had penalties in yesterday's game. Coach Payton talked about that after the win. He's like, we gotta tighten things up. Surprisingly, I think Russell Wilson was only sacked once, I believe, which that's probably the biggest stat point that people are going to talk about. It's kind of a first half versus second half. That was the overall offensive grade. Grade the offense in the second half for me.
Second half, that's where I think that A+ is going to come in. I think that's where that first sack, or that one and only sack, happened, was in the second half. But Russell Wilson just looked 10 years younger. He had his best passer rating as a Bronco since joining at 133.5, 21 for 28 with 223 yards and 3 touchdowns. You can't ask for a better performance out of your quarterback. That is what you expect from an elite quarterback who you're paying the money that Russell Wilson's getting paid. That's the performance you expect out of him week after week.
That's a big thing right there. We're paying Russell Wilson a lot of money. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to jump in. We got April hopping in saying, well, it was the Bears they played. Yes, that is an important point, April. A lot of people were expecting a blowout. I'm talking Broncos fans who maybe are trying to put behind the first 3 games of the season. So she's saying all grading is mostly C for cozy. I like that, April. C for cozy. But Caleb, we're going to jump on over to the defense. Grade the defense, starting with the overall game.
I think April's got it right there with the C. This defense in the first half was an F. There's no other way to say it. Justin Fields is the worst quarterback in the NFL statistically right now, and he looked like Patrick Mahomes in that first half. In the second half, I think you could go all the way up to an A if you really wanted to. The strip sack, the interception, they stepped up and said this is not going to be a win because of Russell Wilson. This is going to be a team win because we're going to go out there, we're going to get the stops we need, and we're going to make the plays that need to be made to win this game.
And one of those big plays was the pick 6. You sit here and, like you had mentioned, Russell Wilson with a quarterback rating of 133.5, which is great. We're talking 3 touchdowns, but really the defense stepped up to help win this game with that pick 6, and Justin Fields having game of his life until that happened. Now we're going to jump to what I know is going to be a talker all week long. Russell Wilson. Grade Russell Wilson, because I'm sitting here, I'm feeling weird about it. I'm all season long, I'm like, he's living up to a standard, but grade him, A through F versus the Bears.
I think you have to give him an A. I think a big thing you have to look at here is the fact that our receivers are not playing up to the level they have in the past. And yet Russell Wilson is having his best season as a Bronco and could end up having his best season in the last couple of years. You have to give him that A because he's rejuvenated in his legs. He's throwing the ball deeper than he has. He's throwing it more accurately, and he's looking at the field better than he has, especially last year.
Talking about those receivers, Marvin Mims Jr., he was targeted twice but had 47 yards, and he's had so many explosive plays this season. I'm talking huge blowout plays. What do you have to say about Marvin Mims?
I think the only thing I have to say is Jerry who. Unfortunately, Marvin Mims seems to have taken this sort of down-the-field playmaking role from Jerry Jeudy, and yesterday's game is a great example of it. Marvin Mims got the big shots down the field where Jerry Jeudy was that midfield to short field pass play receiver there. And Marvin Mims was always down there on the big plays trying to go for the touchdowns, and I think he is just replacing Jerry Jeudy in that role, and in the coming weeks we could see Jerry Jeudy get bumped down a bit or maybe not even on the team anymore.
Judy was targeted. Well, he caught the ball 3 times off 5 targets, 52 yards. So Judy didn't have it, but again, against the Bears. I hate to say this if there's any Bears fans watching right now, but I think it's official. After that game, they may be the worst team in the league. So at least we can sit here on a Monday and say the Broncos are not the worst team in the league after getting a road win. Again, I mean, it's the NFL, though. And Caleb, I got to point this out. Every week, there's some surprises going on. I mean, the Steelers getting destroyed by the Texans. It wasn't even close. Let's talk about, I know this is going to be another storyline this week. Everything seemed to change, and CBS did a good job of covering this when Sean Payton busted out the sleeves and he held his sleeves out and had his sleeves cut off. Did you catch that, Caleb?
I caught that, and he was in Vance Joseph's face. It just looked like he had had enough. It looked like he said, if you aren't going to fix this, I will, and you aren't going to like the results. And it worked. The defense went out there and had a turnaround game in the second half, and at the end of the day, helped win us that game, as bad as they've been the last 3 games.
We got some more folks jumping up online, and sorry, some of the comments are getting buried by Facebook because they've got some choice words in there. I didn't catch the name, but somebody said ever since the Waltons, or Walmart if you will, bought the team, things have been going downhill. I'll say this as, again, full disclosure, I'm hoping the Broncos win. I'm a fan, but I feel like the Walton family has been doing a good job. They've brought in all the right pieces. They've gone all out. What do you have to say about Sean Payton so far? I mean, he got his first win as Broncos head coach. How do you think he's doing, Caleb?
I think he's doing good. It seems like we kind of overestimated his ability to just jump right in. And the NFL changes so much from year to year that something like that is very hard to do, and Sean Payton, I think, is realizing that. But it's looking like he's starting to get back into the groove. It looks like Vance Joseph's starting to get into the groove, so hopefully against a team like the Jets this week, which aren't all that much better than the Bears on paper because of their quarterback situation, this could be another big win for the Broncos, just to have a team confidence building win like they did yesterday against the Bears.
We had Dennis chiming in saying what a waste of time, money, and resources. Look, there's a lot of naysayers out there. We get it. It was a rough start to the season. Some folks aren't a big fan of the NFL either, but I will say this. There's a bit of excitement for me, Caleb. Next week we got the Jets. They had a heck of a Sunday night football game last night. Did you catch that game?
Caught a little bit of it, just the highlights. Zach Wilson is looking like he may still have some juice in him, but I do think, like I said, this defense could really capitalize on another poor performing quarterback and just boost that confidence. Show themselves that they can be the players that the coaches see them, that the fans see them as, and this team could really come together, playing 2 less than average teams before going up against, I believe, the Chiefs after the Jets. Got
it. Well, hey, for anybody watching right now, if you're watching the replay, you can still grade the offense, grade the defense, grade Wilson, jump in with an A through F grade. So far, April's the only one jumping in with an actual grade. I know we can do better than that, saying C overall, which Caleb agrees with for most part. So, Caleb, before we go, how do you think the Broncos are going to do next week?
I do hope this defense can come back. It does seem like Zach Wilson and those offensive weapons the Jets have do seem to be starting to click. We'll see if Denver can thwart that. I just want to see Russell continue to grow. As long as he continues to play at the level he's playing at, I think this offense could be set for the next couple of years. It just looks like now we got to figure out the defense, which the last couple of years has been the opposite of what we've been saying, where the defense has been solid and the offense has been what has needed to be worked on.
And people are calling for Vance Joseph's head right now. So Caleb, thank you so much for the time. I'm going to let you go. He's been working since 11 p.m. last night, guys. So you run free, Caleb. Thank you for the time. Those of you, again, still watching, if you're watching this replay, we got the questions up right there. Feel free to join the conversation. Hopefully next week we can do this again with another Broncos win. I guess we'll find out. But for the time being, we're going to end this stream. And again, feel free to jump in with your Broncos comments.